Hello everyone and welcome to the Armband. I'm your host Chris and Kieran is with me as always. Hello Kieran, we're back again. Not long now to go until that Game Week 1 deadline.
Yeah, looking forward to it, getting squeaky bum time. But yeah, here we go.
I know, I feel like the drafts are just like multiplying by the hour, but I feel like I'm pretty much there now, and it could be quite likely that this is my team for Game Week 1. Do you feel like that about yours too?
Ish. I've, as I said in the last one, I've not been too happy, but I think I'm kind of getting there now. I think I'm settling on this structure at least. So yeah, let's see.
Nice. Well, let's jump right into it, and bring up yours on screen now. It's still no Salah, isn't it?
There's still no Haaland and Salah. You said, yeah, it isn't. Yeah. So. Yeah, Sanchez right now in goal. I got Frimpong, Williams, and Porro in defence with Goodmanson and Steve with 2-4-0s on the bench. And then midfields is Wirtz, Bruno, Reinders, Palmer, Saka, and then up front I got Pedro at the moment, Watkins, and then Strand-Larsen's appeared in the draft as well. So yeah, I'm fairly happy with this. Like I do still want to kind of see if I can get Cucurella in there. Maybe that would be like a Cells instead, and like a Van der Ven for Porro, something like that. That could work. But yeah, it's looking like the 2-4-0s would come in if they have to.
Yeah.
The Reinders pick is just a spicy one. Is that I'm kind of thinking, you said Kovacic is possibly a bit injured. Rodri's still not fit. Foden's possibly got an ankle issue. So I feel like Reinders is, if at all, at any time, is going to be good to go. It's probably now over the next few weeks. So I do want some kind of City have protected the most goals over the first few weeks. So, I want some kind of attack, and he looked good in preseason. And Pep saying he's, should have started him in the first half and played him most of the game. And just he looks like he's a little bit of a darling for Pep at the moment. So, yeah, I kind of want to have some part of that, and he works as kind of a good rotation piece with Porro. He works with Strand-Larsen. So yeah, I could bench Porro next week where he plays City, and I could play Strand-Larsen, and obviously Reinders has got Spurs at home, which seems like a good fixture too. So I'm pretty set on this structure at least now. Wirtz, I'm wondering if Wirtz and Frimpong are enough Liverpool attack cover. I think so. Bruno, Saka, the people I'm really debating is do I want João Pedro? I still can't get my head fully around that. I would love to see Spurs playing tonight in the Super Cup. If Solanke's there, if he starts,
he's meant to be.
Then yeah, Solanke will be in there instead of João Pedro, 100%. Because that might make me then downgrade Porro, because I'll be I've kind of got a bit of Spurs attack now in Solanke, and I don't need Porro, and then I can get Cucurella. So that's where I'm at the moment. Liking the draft, Strand-Larsen's good piece to just have as rather than a 4.5
I agree.
dud. I think having the kind of 4-0 thingies, 4-0 defenders, and then Reinders as rotation pieces rather than the 4.5 striker dud, I think seems better right now. So yeah, I think it's a strong defense, strong attack, strong everywhere really, other than just not having Salah and Haaland.
Yeah, when you sent this to me earlier, I was just looking at it and I was thinking it's strong everywhere really. I feel like it definitely foregoes Defcon apart from Williams and maybe Bruno. But that back line of the Frimpong, Porro, and Williams are just attacking fullbacks. It's just playing for goal involvements, which I think is fun. And the fact that you've got so much money and choice then been able to bench Strand-Larsen at 6.5 or having that rotation with Reinders seems good. And Reinders, is that again, I guess it's like a pick on the goal involvements he's going to get rather than someone like Anderson or Drewsbury Hall, who are probably more likely for minutes, but Reinders perhaps more likely for goal involvements.
Yeah, I can just downgrade to Dewsbury Hall if I need to from him. I can just go to 4.5 and just have an extra million to play with. He's just there to start because I think he's going to be good to go for the start. And I think, like I said, City projected the most goals over the past few weeks. If I can't get Marmoush or Holland, then he seems like a decent shout just to at least be involved, I think. So yeah, most people might stray away from it. 12% own right now, so yeah, I'm happy to kind of go there, I think.
Yeah, no, I think the team looks really strong, and definitely worth us having a small conversation just about Pedro, because I think a couple of days ago when we did our last drafts, neither of us were that keen on him. I've kind of come around to thinking that I'm a bit worried about the start of the season to go against his mammoth ownership. He seems to be first choice, and like we talked about in our last video, he's had a great pre-season. He's sort of done as well as Palmer from a goal output point of view, and it looks to be first choice. He's got great fixtures. I just think it seems quite a lot to bet against him failing in good fixtures with such a weighty ownership. And I think what he gives you as well at 7.5 million, different to Watkins and also different to Strand Larsen, there's a couple of decent strikers who are priced at 7.5. So I'm thinking Mateta, maybe Chris Wood fixtures as well are good, obviously, for the long term, and maybe even Wisser if he joins Newcastle. So there's a few strikers around that price point. So if it doesn't work out to Pedro, you've got someone in that, or you've got like players in that area who could be performing at that time. And Mateta's fixtures get pretty decent after game week 3. And if Pedro, that's when Champions League it kind of starts. So if it looks like his minutes are going to drop off a little bit, and perhaps Mateta's not playing as much in the Conference League, that could be a nice price point to switch between.
Yeah, I'm certainly worried by that. I think if I end up with Cucurella, I probably wouldn't have Pedro, and hopefully Solanke would be fit, and I could just go there instead. But I'm trying not to worry about ownership in game week 1 at least. It's obviously going to be scary, and he is on form. But like, if Solanke's there with those fixtures, then I kind of like Palmer and Cucurella better. But maybe I'm being a bit stupid because Solanke hasn't played many minutes. He could get injured again, something like that. But, yeah.
I think I would definitely have. Solanke does look really good fixtures wise, but you're right. Coming into the season and not having much like pre-season minutes is potentially a big red flag.
If he starts tonight and plays 70, then I'd be happy to go there, I think. But,
more tempted. Yeah. Okay. All right. So a few points, but mainly it seems like you're pretty set. And like second draft this week, and it's still no Salah. As soon as you showed it to me, I was thinking this looks really strong all over. And
so I was inspired by yours as well yesterday, and I was kind of already doing those sorts of drafts, and I was just thinking, I don't have Haaland, I don't have Salah, but I've got Bruno, I've got Saka, I've got Palmer, I've got Wirtz, like I've got Pedro, I've got Watkins, like I've got good attacking defense as well. Like it's I just feel like this year, if any is like a year when Salah's probably going to regress a bit. Haaland's, is he definitely the forefront of the attack still? Well, I mean, he is obviously, but like, even in that first game they played, like he had one shot on target scored from it. Like that's not sustainable.
No.
So like, and they're continuing the sort of trend of him just like not getting that many chances, and not passing to him being kind of isolated. And so I'm just on the fence of just being not on the fence or on the opposite of the fence of just not having behavior of them, I guess.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move over and chit chat about my draft now. Just before that, I just want to say, because I didn't shout out at the beginning of the video, just to say thanks to everyone for their support in pre-season. If you're watching the video now, please hit that like and subscribe. We're looking to get a minimum of 25 likes on the video, and all the more subscribers we can have with you, or subscribers to have with us as we go throughout the season, doing our videos. We're hoping to do twice weekly this season, and it'd be great to have as many people along for the ride as we try and hit 10k or higher. I think is the goal this season. I'm going to set the sights high.
That'd be nice. Yeah,
that would be right. I'm going to start off with what is pretty much my non-Salah draft, and I want you to be honest on this because I've done it this afternoon and I think I like it, but maybe it's a bit too weak around the edges. Right, so it's 3-4-3. I'll read it through. So Sanchez in goal, sticking with Gabriel just because I fancy Arsenal just over a longer period. I'm hoping for like a later wild card. He's got good fixtures, and we know Arsenal are going to keep clean sheets. Murillo's in there for the DEFCON points, and they're good fixtures. Now the defensive spot, what I've come to is mainly a result of trying to squeeze a better player in. So perhaps if I come back to that by saying I wasn't feeling any of the 5.5 or 5 million mids, so like as well as Anderson. So I had Drewsbury Hall, I had a look at Reinders, wasn't sure. Wanted João Pedro for the reasons that we talked about when we talked about your draft, and I've always like this like pre-season like Strand Larsen because he just seems like a nailed 6.5 million forward for a mid-table club who's going to play pretty much all the minutes and fairly likely to be on penalty. So he seems like the best to me of all 6.5 million down. And after game week 1, his fixtures are really good. So what I kind of landed on was that I already had a Steven Goodmanson as my 4.0 million defenders. Could I really see how good Defcon can be and get that third defender as a 4.5 million and then rotate between the 3 of those while playing Anderson full-time? And obviously by doing this allows me to have 5 pretty decent premiums in Salah, Palmer, Fernandes, Watkins and Pedro. So, but just before
is this the Salah draft you're talking about?
This is the Salah draft I'm talking about now. So just to preempt any poo-pooing, the reason I had a look at this, like Agdabu, who was really good for Defcon last season. I think he was one of the highest scoring defenders for Defcon. We know Steve's meant to be good if he continues his form, and Goodmanson's just a decent left back pick. But all the way to game week 9, the rotation for these 3 is Everton at home, Sunderland at home, Everton at home. Then there's a Fulham away, Leeds at home, Bournemouth at home, Brighton at home, Leeds at home, Burnley at home. So those fixtures for a collective 12.5 million rotation for minimal spend seems pretty good to then load the money into the front line. But I look at the team and think, is it too weak around the edges? Basically, the right-hand side of the team is always going to be a cheap defender. Anderson's pretty much going to be a perma play going for these Defcon points, and Strand Larsen, but I don't mind him. I don't know what and the bench is obviously just as weak as it can get. What do you think about that? Do you think it's a bit too lopsided? I mean, I've got Arsenal defence coverage, Chelsea defence, and Forest.
Yeah, you talked about that rotation of those 3 players. They're like, if it works with those fixtures, like, well, what's the issue?
Yeah.
Like, if it means you can get every other player that you want, like, well, what's the problem? Like, like, I mean, Anderson is there playing every week, which isn't maybe ideal, but if he gets 4 points every week, then that's over a season. It's probably going to be better than a Reinders or whatever I'm going to pick. So, I think it's fine. You get in Salah, probably the best captain for this week still. João Pedro ownership, Watkins is still there. You could go to a full Krug if you wanted from Strand Larsen because he seems pretty nailed, and you could like upgrade one of them, maybe again, like maybe an Agbadou to a 5-0 if you wanted, like a Romero or something like that if you wanted.
Possibly.
So there's still options there, but I think it looks good to me. I like it.
I've just been looking at this option. I think I've spent too long in pre-season thinking I've got to have quite an expensive back line, and this is spreading it out a little bit. And that part of me as well doesn't want to start the season with a 4.5 million forward who's unlikely to play a lot, and having 3 forwards that are fairly decent just keeps the bench as cheap as it can be while still providing enough rotation options. So
it makes way more sense to have a 4.5 million or a 4-0 dead spot, or a 4.5 million, like, rather than the 4.5 million forward. Just have a 4.5 million defender that can be a rotation piece instead. Whereas like the 4.5 million forward isn't going to start for at least 3 to 4 weeks. Like,
So that's
I think that makes sense.
So that's like, I'd say that's probably option 1 at the moment, and option 2. Let me just see if I can just change this over to my no-Salah draft, which I think is fairly similar.
It is. Well, it's fairly similar to mine as well, but just a little bit different in the defense, isn't it?
Yeah. Let me just load this back in. Cool. Right. So it is fairly similar. So the main change here is Salah and Anderson, Wirtz and Saka in the middle, and the defense is essentially Van Dijk's been replaced by Agdabu from Wolves. So it's like 3 changes. Because I'm quite happy with like the rest of it around there. It still obviously retains Chelsea goalkeeper. It retains a Arsenal centre back. It retains Murillo. So it's just trying to weigh up. And interesting, I put the numbers into. I had a look at the projected points for Salah, Anderson, and Agdabu in just this instance over the first 6 or 7 game weeks against Virgil, Saka, and Wirtz. And surprisingly, the Saka draft, or like predicted points on review and the Solio analytics, which I was looking at because people were recommending that, put them like at Salah's one as like 2 or 3 points over the first 9 game weeks more. And I kind of thought before I did it, it was going to be really heavily weighted in like this version.
Yeah,
so that was quite interesting, and because I just wanted some like backup. So I'm weighing up between these two. Obviously, no Salah or Salah, but at the moment I'm probably 70-30 on the Salah draft.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about captaincy. Whereas in mine, I'm just like, who do I definitely captain here? Like, I probably have to go Verts, but yeah.
Yeah. So I would say from my team selection, I'd say 70% on, the previous version of this one, and just can't wait for game week 1 to start now and watch all the planning like fall in pieces as it's someone like Jimenez and Harry Wilson that like rip it up, and Danny Welbeck plays and scores a couple goals. Pyro scores for Leeds.
It's definitely going to be something that we're not seeing.
I know, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm excited, to be honest. Yeah, it's come around quickly, and I'm hoping for loads of goals. Hoping for defensive contributions. Maybe you'll be bored.
Maybe you'll be bored. Yeah, exactly. Racking up the points. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I think probably wraps it up. It only needs to be short and sweet today because the deadline's fast approaching. But if there's any changes to our final teams, perhaps we'll post them as a comment on this video prior to the deadline or on our channel. And just once again, sorry, we can say something.
We'll try and stay active on Twitter and stuff like that for any like press conference news, things over the days, and if there's any more injuries or anything that comes out. Yeah, so let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we just want to say again, thanks everyone for watching this pre-season, and if you haven't already, please hit that like, subscribe, and we'll hope to see you on the next one. Cheers.
Cheers all.
Bye bye.